So welcome to this week's study group. We didn't do one yesterday, an observation of Independence Day, but to be honest, what we're doing right here is creating our real independence. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First thing I want to do is go over existing plays. One thing I want to do is just start with SPY. As you know, SPY is an ETF that tracks the S&P 500, which includes the top 500 stocks on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, last week, first of all, I'm looking at the seasonality for SPY. Over the last 9 years, on average, last week for SPY was it has an 80% success rate for last week. The current week that we're in has an 89% success rate. And going into this week, I'm just really bullish, extremely bullish going into this week. Now I'm going to switch over to the actual chart so I can show y'all what's going on and what I think for this week. So last week, SPY closed at 34.07, and it was even a little higher after hours. The high, we hit a high after hours of 434.1 after hours, right? And SPY is just like, again, there's a lot of things that that happens in the market, and we can't predict what happens in the market, but one thing is the trend is your friend, and I'm just going with the trend. There's no reason to be bearish on SPY. On the weekly, I'm gonna start with the daily. On the daily, you see how we finished. Once we got out of that wedge a few days on Wednesday, we broke out of that wedge and we continued on, two up, two up, two up. And so we took out this is just a very bullish pattern. Then I'm looking at MACD, volume, everything was in confluence. And then we also had time frame continuity. If I go to the weekly chart, it's clear that SPY took out the high of the previous week here on the weekly chart, and on the monthly. And again, we're just getting into July. Look at this, beautiful, beautiful. SPY wants 440, and again, we can't predict what the market's going to do, but again, the trend is your friend. Until I see a reason to be bearish on SPY, I'm bullish on SPY. So SPY wants 440. I told y'all last Sunday on the study group call that SPY wanted 430, and SPY actually hit 430 plus. It went up like about almost $10 since then, right? So yeah, just look at SPY now, and let's just see. Hold on, what's up with my chart, man? Trying to get this thing to move, and it's acting weird. Yeah, we go. So yeah, SPY wants 440, and let's just see how the market plays out. I'm bullish on SPY. So over to Facebook, right? So I'm on the daily chart for Facebook, and there's a lot to say about Facebook, right? Now I'm just going to say this. We need to break. Now we're in this range right here. Facebook has been ranging, between 345, and I can't even necessarily say between 345. I would say 347 and 348 as the range for calls for if you're not already in Facebook plays, Facebook needs to break above 358.2 for you to get into additional Facebook plays. Anything below 347, I would consider puts for Facebook. I'm really bullish on Facebook. We got Facebook finished the day, finished really bullish on the daily, on the weekly. Now again, I got my weekly and my weekly. This is the high of the previous week here, because this orange line is my weekly, and this is the high of the previous month right here. So we're already, well above those previous months and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, let me just double check because we're in July now. So on a weekly, you can clearly see Facebook took out the high of the previous week, right? And still running very bullish. Even MACD, we got the volume, everything. Relative volume could be a little higher, but it's cool for now. Hold on, that's another thing I'm gonna point out when we get back to the daily. But look at this monthly. This is a beautiful chart, man. Look at this beautiful chart, man. So Facebook is just, it's pretty bullish, man. I'm really I'm looking forward to and to keep in mind we just started July, so we're in a new month, so we finished the last month really strong. So let's just see if we could the high of last month was, or the high of June was 358.14. And so far, with only 2 days in this month, market days that we've had in this month, we're already, the high we've been was 356. Hold on, 356. This is not respecting after hours. Hold on one second. But actually it is. Hold on. 356.44. So this is just not including the oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah. So we got, yeah, that was 354, 358 point 358.14. And this was 356.44. Okay. So we're close to the all time, to the high of the previous month. So one thing we will see is we will see Facebook hit more all-time highs. It's been doing it all week. Let me go back to the daily for a second. On the daily, right? Look at this. This is something important, like the relative. I want to look at the volume, right? The price action. So there's a lot of when we were at 358, there was a lot of volume. I mean, a lot of volume at this particular level. So that was a strong demand zone here. Then another strong demand zone at 333, and then another strong demand zone here at 352, which was very important for me on last week to see this demand zone of a lot of volume here. So that's a strong demand zone. We started getting some nice volume here at this 358 level into the close. So let's see if we can use that, use this particular level as a zone. But in order to do that, Facebook has to break above 358. And from there, once Facebook breaks above 358, what it will do is it will ascend to the next level. I'm not, see right now, we're in some Facebook plays for the 330. We're in we have some 355 strikes and 350 strikes for next week, the week ending the 9th, right? So what we wanted. So the thing is this is the plan. If Facebook breaks above 358.2, from there, we will, I feel that once Facebook breaks 358 and uses it as support at that point, Facebook will like go to 370, but we have to break and hold 358 as support. At that point, once we break 360, and hold above 360, then I'll start looking at 360 calls. Right now, even 355 calls are a little suspect to me at this point, right? So we just need, and Facebook, again, Facebook held and closed at, well, Facebook after hours, was at hit 355 again after hours. So we closed like pushing 355, right? So we still right there at the money. We still at the money at this time. So I just think that I'm really bullish on Facebook. I'm looking forward to see what next week holds. But again, I'm really big on the 350 strikes, and I have some 355 strikes. If I get an opportunity to average down on a 355, I'm gonna buy another 350 strike. You know what I'm saying? So let's just see how things goes. Now, as far as seasonality, let me go to that for a second. One moment. Yeah, so we see last week for Facebook, over the last 9 years, we had a 70% success rate for that week. And Facebook had a pretty bullish week last week. This particular week, going in this week, is an 89% success rate. So I'm really bullish going into this week with a little good news and everything. We could ascend further than where we are. And I'm just looking forward to that. Again, I believe that after this next run up that we have, Facebook will pull back for earnings at some point, and then we'll have a nice earnings run up. Hopefully, if that, that's the plan. And this is a very bullish season for Facebook and for earnings. So for the entire sector, especially for the FANG stocks. But so yeah, I'm bullish on Facebook going into this week. But again, I'm not chasing any plays. I'm already in a few plays, and yeah, so let's just let's see how things goes. I'm gonna move on to some other plays that we're in this week and go from there. All right, over to Square. And so Square had a okay week, man. It was kind of rough going into the week, at the close because of, but the positive is Square held here. It had a lot of and it's good thing to see. We had a lot of this is a strong demand zone I see here for Square. It really at this 244, 243 level in this range, that's a strong demand zone. So it's a lot of market makers that weren't really trying to let price like leave this zone. But we got the most volume when it comes up into this zone here. Uh, as far as seasonality goes, Square, this week that we're currently in, Square has a 100% success rate. So that's actually really, really bullish. I'm gonna look at the weekly for Square. On the weekly, we took out the high of the previous week, but we also came back down here. But we did take out the high of the previous week. Now, look, this good thing though, even if we only consider where the last week closed or the previous week closed, the previous week closed at 239.9, and then the week that we just left closed at 241.8. So it's still, bullish. It's still bullish in my opinion, right? Going at the previous monthly, right? So we just started this month, obviously, right? But we took out the high of the previous month. Now, what we want to do with this one is, what I want to do is, I want Square. We need to get back up. We need to, like, if we get the 251.8. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I need, we need to get to, I would love to do this. Am I back on a monthly? Yeah. Now I do want to get back to taking out the high of the previous month, but if we can just get the 251. That was 251.1. I'll change it if it wasn't. But get back to that range, man. If we can just do that. That was 251.9. Okay. 251.9. We break 251.9. This thing is going to go. We got a few price ranges where we can go next, up to 259. And then from 259, we can go up to 278. I was thinking 260, but let's just see what we can get to. Like, if we can just do this. And I'm gonna actually go back to the weekly real quick, see some other prices in there, because I'm sure there's some other prices in there. Yeah, I had the 260 in here. So 259, but that's actually 260. I was just trying to do it off an eye without seeing it. So let's just focus on that next price target. We break 251.9. We're on our way to 260. So again, I'm bullish on Square. I have a few plays. We're currently in the 240 and the 244, 245 strikes, my bad. So what I did was, when Square pulled back, instead of averaging down on a 245 strike, I bought 240 strikes, And the thing is, I want to just get everybody more comfortable with doing this. If you're in a play, even if you believe in the play, if the stock pulls back, right, instead of averaging down on the current strike, get a better strike. And the reason I say that is because it looks good in your portfolio just for the visual. But if you buy a lower strike, a strike that's closer to the money, when it prints, you're going to make more money. And overall, it's going to be better for your portfolio. Just because you want to see the dollar cost average look better, just for your visual sake, by looking at the actual picture, on that actual strike, that's not a good reason to just be doing it. You know what I'm saying? I want you to just think about the higher probability chances. So if I'm averaging down, technically I do it, but I'm saying for the most part, depending on what it is and how far away. Like, for example, if I got a weekly and I'm expecting for Square to go to 250, and now Square is back all the way down to 240 or 239, and I have the 245 strike. You know what I'm saying? Instead of averaging down on that 245 strike, if Square is at 239, and I'm only in a weekly, you know, I read that I have a higher probability of Square getting to back to 240 than I do it getting back to 245. And even if it does get back to 245, now the Greeks are recalculated and I may not be back at break even. So if I grab a 240 this time, you know, I'm actually going to generate more money when Square gets to 245. And then if it goes even further than 245, I'm going to be up substantially. So that actually helps you on the price and helps your portfolio better than averaging down on the current strike. Now, again, there are situations where this is different, but I'm just saying, like, let's just try to do our high probability trades. Anybody got any questions about that before I move on? Cool, cool, cool. All right, I'm gonna move on. All right, on to Apple. So Apple, we got into some Apple plays going into the close. Last week we grabbed the 140 strike. Now Apple has a 90% success rate in the week that we're going into, or this current week that we're in right now. So we grabbed some 140 strikes going into this current week, right? And one thing that I will say about Apple is that you know, and what stood out to me the most about this was the like the alarming amount of open interest and volume in those plays. And but before I go into that, before I switch over and show you that, I just want to kind of just point out. So the chart was really bullish. Apple was at 139.8 or something like that before, like, or something. It was close to that when we got into those plays going into this week, right? And so we got into these plays. Yeah, really bullish, really bullish. So we got the 140 strike. And yeah, so I just got this going here. Once Apple breaks 140, let's see what happens from there, right? It's really bullish. Look at the MACD. Look at the volume into the close on the daily. This was like really extremely bullish. And yeah, so I'm just looking for more volume to come in up here, but we did have a lot of volume going into the close, but let's just see how things look. On the weekly, Apple looking really bullish right here. I'm loving the way this MACD finished with this green bar right here. Very bullish. It's time frame continuity. I'm loving it. I'm loving how the price is stacked on top of all of my EMAs. And on the monthly, bullish. We just broke out of a wedge and just looking really bullish, man. I'm just looking for to see where it goes from here. I'm going to switch over to the strikes. I want to show y'all something just really quickly. This was one of the reasons that we got into these plays because look at this. So first of all, they were cheap. They were really cheap. And that's not a main reason why to get into a play, but they were $118. We might have paid less than it. I'm not sure, something like that for this particular strike. The 140 strike. Look at the open interest and buy. Actually, so right now, this is what we're seeing right now because people bought shares. There are people who bought shares today. So we're seeing this right here, right? We're seeing shares because today is Monday, but the stock market is closed, but people were buying shares, right? But when I closed on Friday, I actually posted this in the Discord. We had over 125K and over 122K in volume, and I think like 122K in open interest too. Was extremely high. The delta on this looks crazy. We got like a 49 delta. I think it was like 50. The theta is 13. The vega is 7. Implied volatility is extremely low right now. So keep in mind, I want y'all to pay attention to this implied volatility. And look, also this strike had a plus $78 increase, you know, so this play was extremely cheap because Apple had it pays a dividend and moves really slow. So sometimes it doesn't reach its target. But going into this particular earnings season, I guess I'm bullish on this time. Yeah, so that's all I really wanted to discuss with regards to Apple. Let me switch back over to the chart and then we can kind of go over I think it was one other thing I wanted to kind of touch on for earnings. 1 second. All right, cool. PayPal. I'm just gonna go to the daily on this and then look at the weekly. Man, on the daily, you know, this thing is still actually. Let me fix this for a second. Hold up. Got 295. This been ranging for a while. We need to break out of this range, man. 296, I mean 295. Yeah, this is a nice little flag building, you know, break out of this range and, you know, let's keep this on watch, you know, at 250, 259.5 or whatever. I'm just guessing it off the top, this range, but you know, it's been ranging here and we need to break out of that range. And there's a time frame continuity on this range because if I go to the weekly, you know, same thing on the range that 85. You know, same range. You know, we need to break this range, and that this stock could actually go. So let's keep this on watch also. Now, you know, obviously calls above that particular range and then puts if it comes below that 285 price. So, you know, but that goes beyond saying, without saying. Snap. Man, I actually like this snap chart. Let me tell you. So if we can, this is like it's a new range. It's a new range setting up, right? But and this can be for a huge move. But if we can clear this 69, what is this 69? This 69.30 level. We can clear that 69.30 level. We can go to the 73, the 73.76 level. So that new range is setting up, you know, it's right here. I'm waiting for this new range, man. I think that'll be cool if we can do that. And again, this is the weekly I'm looking at, but there's time frame continuity on this one. You see, we in here. All we got to do is break out of this. This is the flag right here. If we can break out of there, that's the new level that we can go to. That's a nice range setting up. So be on watch. You know, matter of fact, I'm gonna set a little alert here for me to watch this because sometimes I forget stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and create a new alert for this one here. Just gonna call it the touch or breakthrough. Let's see if it break through that particular range. So I'll get an alert, an annoying alert if that happens. So let's move on. See, there's another chart, man, that I want to talk to y'all about because there's some crazy stuff going on now. I tell y'all all the time not to mess with these IPOs, give them time to settle in. So there's this new stock, this DD stock, man. So this is what the deal is, just real quick so y'all know what's up, right? So DD, they had an IPO last week, or yeah, like it was like a week or so ago, or whatever. Now, DD's global app, they have a global app that was removed. It was removed from the Chinese app store due to personal data collection concerns by the Chinese government. And China, you know, so this thing is going to fall off a cliff. Anybody who's in this play already, they're going to be toast tomorrow when the stock market open. I feel sorry for anybody in this. So this is just a cautionary tale. Stay away from these IPOs. You got to give IPOs a few months to settle, unless you got pre-IPO or something like Robinhood trying to give us for their new IPO or something like that, where you're already in it before it IPO. You know, I would stay away from IPOs. It's never that serious. So just stay away from it. That's just my advice to, you know, any new trader. Just stay away from it. I'm gonna touch another one real quick. There isn't anything interesting on earnings. So that's why I haven't touched earnings yet, y'all. Earnings is just like very like dry this week, man. So it's okay though. But we, you know, I'm gonna get to it. But real quick. So on this, I'm just looking at this. Let me start with the weekly on this Visa chart real quick. On the weekly, man, it's a clean break here. You know, I'm gonna draw my line so I can show y'all what's up though. Clean break, you know, and this is like ready to go. If we can get to that 239 level, I think we can run to 250. So let me just go ahead and give you my little shit. Hold on. Damn, where's my, all right, there we go. Yeah, I like this chart. I like everything about it, man. It's very bullish. Very, very, very bullish. Very bullish. And then that hammer on the weekly, sheesh. Oh my God, right? So look, all right. So look, if we can break two, we are currently here. Damn, I still hear them damn cherry bombs are just useless. I don't understand why they made them. They're just like the most useless firework ever, man. Or just, I don't get it. They're just useless. But yeah, we can get above the 239 level. We got 237 now. We can get above that 239 level. Hold up, where did this close? This is 238.78. Yeah, that's where I'm somewhere in there. I'm right there. So we can get above 239. We out of here. Get above 239 and it goes to 250. Let me just yeah, really make a run to 250, man. It's just like, look, yeah, I like what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I really do think we can make a nice little run. And that's just based off of fibs. What I'm thinking of right now, because that would be obviously a new level that we haven't been to. I'm liking the Visa chart. Yeah. One other thing I want to touch on, I mean, I already did Facebook. One thing I wanted to say about Facebook really quickly. So, you know, the Dutch court rejected Facebook offer to dismiss their privacy lawsuit in the Netherlands. That happened over the weekend. You know, that isn't really something that, you know, that is really a big deal, but just something that came out. I keep all Facebook news on watch, just throwing that out there. Let me see. Amazon, sheesh, man. Oh man, it's a fucking monster. Amazon is a monster. So let me just give you an idea of what's going on with Amazon. So this is just another one to keep on watch. I'm looking for a break of the 35.28 level. If we can break, that's crazy. This stock is so much, man. So 35.2, 35.28. That's what it is. So hold on. I'll do it like this. 35. 35.28. We can break this level, the 35.28. We can move to the 4K level, man. That's crazy how this thing moves, though. You hear me? We can literally move, like we can move up to the 4K level. So let's just try to see if we can get out of this and move back to it. So hold on 1 second. I hate how this weekly does, man. Hold on 1 second. Just want to switch over to something. I want to show y'all something real quick. This thing don't be respecting after hours at times. All right, hold on 1 second, y'all. But yeah, y'all got my drift where we can go. Hold on 1 second. All right, I just want to touch on Tesla right quick, man. So we still like, look, Tesla didn't do what it's supposed to did last week. I mean, it did get to 700. So that's a good thing. We broke 700. So let's keep this level on our on watch. We got to. It just would be foolish not to keep Tesla the 700 level on watch. So we actually hit that 700 level. So let's keep that on watch. And because it was on it's the resistance on the weekly and on the daily chart. So we broke out of that wedge, and we in another flag here, right? It could break down, go up, because we had another smaller flag in here too, if you look at it. But I want to tell you, I played Tesla last week. I got a well, actually, I didn't play it last week. I bought it the week before, the Friday before. I bought the 290, I mean the 690 strike for 2100. And so, you know, because I always have a risk to reward ratio when I get into a play. And my plan was, I said, okay, I'm willing to risk. My risk to reward ratio was 3 to 1. That means I was willing to risk one to make three. So I was willing to risk the entire 2100 that I paid for that strike to make 6 bands off of that Tesla play, a little more. So, you know, that thing, Tesla on Friday came up to 700 this Friday, past Friday, and gave me $1,000 profit. But, you know, I didn't take it because I wanted 6 bands. I wanted 6 bands. I didn't take it. And I ended up losing everything. Right. But it was okay. You know why I was okay? I won 10 bands on Facebook this same week. So 2,000 taken out of 10 bands leaves me with 8 bands. So I still had an 80% profit for this week. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I always say, don't do what I do what I say, because, you know, like most people don't win 10 bands in a week. My mentor wins probably like 50 bands or 100 bands in a week. I don't win that. So I wouldn't be in a play where I pay 50 bands and risking 50 bands. I wouldn't be chasing him in a play. I'm gonna do what he tells me to do. You know what I'm saying? So again, I be trying to protect y'all when I tell y'all about how to do this. You gotta have your own risk to reward ratio, which you're comfortable for. Now we can be in the same plays, but look, there's some plays that I'm not in. I don't get into certain plays because I'm like, all right, that's out of my price range. And I always tell everybody, don't have more than, like, if you got $1,000 to play with, and I'm not talking about the money you already got in investments and stuff like that. I'm talking about $1,000 in your portfolio to play with in cash. You only should be playing with $200 of that, 20% of that. Now, if you make some profits off of that, then your 20% goes up. But you want to do that because if you lose, you got 80% left. You got 4 more tries left to get it right. You know, so that's what you want to do. And that's something I want everybody to focus on, and not just, you know, staying on or just doing what you see other people do. You know, everybody you have to take accountability for your own portfolio, because let's say I tell you to get in something and I'm wrong, because listen, we're going to be wrong sometimes. You have to have your own risk to reward ratio. Look, like, for example, I may call out a play and I may not even be in it, like Disney this week or something like that. You know, I'm not in too many plays like that. I'm in certain plays. I'm managing my portfolio. I'm on a Zoom, calling out plays, scalping plays, looking, you know, different things, analyzing charts, all of this. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. You know, it's very important to have your own. And then when you get into play, if I say, look, okay, I already told you I wanted to make 6 bands off of Tesla. So when it got to 1,000, you know, I didn't need to ask anyone, should I take profit? No, because I knew that's not what I wanted to do. I was okay with losing it because I didn't lose any money of my own money. I lost 20% of my Facebook profits. You get what I'm saying? I lost 20% of my profit from Facebook on Tesla. If I didn't make that money off of Facebook, I probably wouldn't have played Tesla. That's not true, but I'm saying, yeah, that is true, because we went, Facebook like did us nice the week before. So yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I'm moving on to earnings. We don't really have a lot of earnings this week, but I am going to move over to earnings. All right. So on Tuesday, we got Smart Global Holdings earnings after the close. I don't know much about that company. We got MSC on Wednesday before the open. We got WD-40 after the close. I know that company. I haven't played it before. So, you know, I'm just pointing out the plays that got earnings. You know, we can look at those charts. Helen of Troy, don't know about them. Saratoga Investment Group, don't know about them. NTI, Duck Creek Technologies, Accolade, I know about Levi's, you know. I think they beat earnings last time. I have to check. We got AZZ, and then we got Greenbrier companies. So I don't really know much about these companies. If y'all have questions about them, I can chart them, but I don't really know much about them, and I'm not going to play any of these earnings. I may look at some of the charts maybe tomorrow, and if I like something that I see, I may consider a position depending on what things look like. But you know, this is like really like a Sunday. All right. actually going to eat dinner soon, so I'm not going to really chart them. Kind of charted the ones I want to chart. Again, the market sentiment for this upcoming week, I believe, is bullish because of SPY. And I like the way SPY looks this week. I'm liking QQQ. I just think we're having a really good this going into this particular month. Like I said, it's pretty bullish. Tech is bullish, so QQQ is tracking the tech sector. NASDAQ, QQQ is bullish. Again, SPY is bullish. I just think the market sentiment going into this week is bullish. Do anyone have any questions or anything you guys want me to cover?
No, I think you went over everything. Only thing, Visa, you said if they break 239, that they could go. So if you were looking at strikes, possibly what range will we be looking at?
If we're looking at strikes, let me pull up the yeah, let me pull it up. Look at the chart. I mean, because you know me, I'm gonna say probably 340 or
Right.
But if it's 350, it depends. Like if it's just 1 week, if it's a 1 week chart, let me actually go to the chart. I think that's a good question because I didn't consider that yet. I'm gonna switch over to the good question. I did not consider that. All right, so if it's for this upcoming week or for this week, and keep in mind we got a 4-day week because we had Independence Day. So me, let's see how things open. I like this 240 strike. We had 230, we had 238 now. 240 is not in the money yet. So I like this. Yeah, the market agrees with this strike too. The Greeks look good. I like the delta on here, 38. We got a Vega, oh shit, look at this Vega. $11. The Vega is $11. Now keep in mind, let's keep in mind, this is being recorded, but let's keep in mind that the IV on this is 15.8%. So I'm looking at some of these other strikes, how high the IV got, but the Vega got lower too. But looking at this, if this can grow and that Vega stays around that, for every percent increase of the implied volatility, the contract goes up an additional $11. So a $10 increase would give us $110. You know what I'm saying, on that contract just off of Vega alone. So interesting. So let's just keep an eye on this particular contract. So for this week, I like the 140 strike. If it goes to 150, like I'm thinking it'll do, if it breaks, then that's great. But for that week, that's the strike I like. Now you see, look, for the week after, now the delta is extremely low, but so is the Vega. I mean the theta. So the 150 strike is far out of the money. It's like about $12 out of the money, right? So, but for the following week, there's a lot of and it's like $70 to get into this play. It's a $9 spread, and yeah. So I like this strike for the I like this particular strike, and the market loves it too, apparently, right? I also like the 245 strike. The market likes that too. So I'm looking at what the market is doing. So, but this is very important to point out. You notice when I said the 250 or 245 strike, that gives us a 2-week contract. That's giving us time for the likelihood of it finishing in the money. But even this, like right now, the delta is low because the probability of finishing in the money, although this means you get $6, there's also is a 6% chance that this particular strike will finish in the money, because until it breaks 239, which would be an all-time high, then that particular stock will run. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Good strike. I mean, good. Thank you for asking that. But yeah, I like that particular strike for this particular play. And let me see, what's another thing I wanted to look at? Hold on, I want to look at another strike while we over here real quick. let's see what the market looking at for Facebook for next week, the week after. So this is so interesting. It's just some of the stuff is here, some of it's not. So a lot of people are in this 60 strike. Now I'm telling y'all, I'm bullish on Facebook. So it's a lot of people in this particular strike. But look, it's so crazy. More people, and this is so crazy this happened. It's like the open interest and volume is almost identical in the 355 and the 60. But I'm telling you, a lot of people buy these strikes because they're cheaper, not necessarily because they're great. Now, I'm not saying that this is not a good strike or anything like that. I'm just saying that, and then look, hold up, a lot of people got this 375 because I told you, Facebook breaks 359. I think Facebook going to 370. But look at this. Look at how much open interest and volume got in this last week. So it's a lot of people looking for Facebook to make some moves in this upcoming week. So let's not sleep on the ZUP. You feel me? So yeah, and one thing I'm gonna look at Square Root. What's up, KK?
Did you give the historical on how successful this was for this week last year?
Yep. Well, no, not for last year, but for this week.
Or for like historically?
Yeah, over the last 9 years. I pulled it up earlier. It's 89% success rate for this week on Facebook. Yeah, good question on that one. And Square is 100% for this upcoming week. You know, but Square only got 6 years of data because it's not as old as Facebook. But let me look at Square real quick because yeah, a lot. We in this 245 strike and we in this 250 strike. I'm liking the open interest and the volume on both of these, right? And I don't know, for some reason, I just feel good about this. Now, whenever I lose money on something that I shouldn't have been in the first place, I always double down on stuff that I feel that I'm substantial on that I should have been playing in the first place. So it shouldn't take for me to be in a losing play or for me to mess up some money for me to get to lock in on what I know I need to be doing. But I'm just saying, like, we in these strikes. Dallas, are you in any Square plays for this week?
No, I'm just in Facebook. Okay. And I got another strike for Home Depot too.
For what? Sorry.
I got another I'm in another Home Depot one.
Oh, okay, good. That's a good play though. That's a good play. That Home Depot one is looking good. So I can probably guess the strike you're in. You're probably in this 330 strike or this 325 strike. Which strike are you in?
Well, I had the one for next week, the 320, but I got out of it. I'm in a 325 for this week.
Oh, sheesh. Okay. All right, Dallas, stepping it up a little bit.
Right, Dallas. Right, Dallas.
So, okay, see, look, check this out. And just for
I had got another. That's what I did. I had got another Facebook strike, and then I got back at Home Depot. So I got the 325 for this week.
Good. That's great. That's what I would have picked out. And a lot of times people would have gotten this one. Great Greeks on it and everything. I'm going to switch back over to the chart one time, but I want to say this. I want to point this out for people who are listening, newbies, or anybody in the group. Dallas been with us for, since like January, February. And Dallas finally took a one-on-one. He did a one-on-one with me a few weeks ago, about a month ago now, a few weeks ago. And Dallas has been locked in. Like, I don't have to call out a strike for Dallas. I post a lot of charts at night. I'll do my due diligence on charts when it's quiet at night and post my price targets and strikes and things of that sort. Dallas be in the plays. He know how to read these charts now. He knows how to choose his strikes and everything after doing a one-on-one. Dallas booked a 1 hour one-on-one with me. We ended up doing that one-on-one for about 2.5 hours, right? And, because I'm passionate about this, but he's locked in and I'm proud about that. So people, flex off of winning, making money and stuff like that. I flex when my students are able to pick out their own strikes and be dependent on their own. I mean, and Dallas could speak for himself. I ain't speaking for him, but I'm just saying, like, if you're serious about this, man, you got to lock in, because the most important investment you should be doing is in your education. And if you can take $300, $400, and $500 and put in a play and let it expire worthless, you can take $200 and invest in your education and book a one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? And and go over whatever you like to go over and learn what you want to learn and take your trading to the next level. Because, you know, like I said, I quit my job doing this and I don't plan on ever working for nobody else. And I'm learning every single day. You know, you gotta, like I said, we were off yesterday for Independence Day, man. But the real independence is putting your money into or building income. And anything I want to do, I have my money to I put my money at work. My money is never unemployed. You hear me? So yeah, but hey Dallas, did you got any questions or did you want to mention, do you want to say anything or add anything?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna look at this Home Depot chart just to see what I see because I know you in it. So I ain't look at that chart. So I'm gonna pull it up real quick and then we can call it.
On every time frame, it still look like bullish. Like on every.
You hear what Dallas saying? He on his own talking about time frame continuity and everything. You hear me? Like, yeah, on the daily. I'm loving it on the daily, bullish on the daily. Just confirming what he's saying because I trust what he's saying because, you know, I told him. Yep, bullish on the weekly. Very bullish. MACD look like it's about to cross up. Then on the monthly, sheesh, you hear me? We took out the high of the previous month. That's all that matters, man. We got, look, they had earnings in this month. And in this month, we took out, man, this is a very bullish chart. I love it. I love it. I love it. And we going, this is a reopening play. And yeah, really good, really good. Good call out.
Dallas about to get me at Home Depot.
I thought you would have probably got into the other day. That's what I've been on Home Depot. Home Depot is the one. Home Depot ran this whole week.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
It has run this whole week. It definitely ran this whole week.
It broke out of this
wedge.
It ran. It broke out of that wedge and it did not stop. And it had a lot of room to give because remember after earnings, Lowe's had their earnings call after they beat earnings, and they said some weird stuff during the call that Home Depot sold off as a sympathy play. Yeah. So and they had no reason to sell off. So yeah, this is a great play, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this week, man. I might try to get into some spy calls, but it depends on what the sentiment is tomorrow. Yeah, but one last thing. I'm gonna go over one last thing on this because I think we should cover the sectors. 1 second. Yeah, so everybody know I use FactSet. You know, FactSet is software that I was using at T-Row, and anyone can use FactSet for a subscription to the software. It's $1,000 per month just to use the software, but it's really good software. I like it. So this is just, I wanted to give you an overall sector level change for Q2 for EPS for earnings per share. This is from March 31st to June 30th. Energy up 37%, materials 17%, financials 9%, technology 9%, communication services. So that's like Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, etc. 9%. And Facebook is also, all of that is in tech too. Real estate 8%, industrial 6%, consumer discretionary. Now keep in mind, this is about to be a big sector because reopening, everyone's going to malls, everyone's buying retail. That's consumer discretionary. So Express, all of those places, BBBY, all of these places are about to be good plays. Healthcare 1%. Consumer staples 0%, and utilities -2%. Utilities is another one that I think is going to make a change because again, we're doing our sector rotation, and I think utilities and stuff like that is about to actually, industrials and utilities, well, not utilities necessarily, but industrials, we're going to have a increase in that. Any questions about this or any sector rotations or anything before we call it? Oh, cool.
Wait, another one. XO. Remember, I sent a lot of bullish statements with that one too.
I'm sorry, what is it?
XOM.
Oh yeah, XOM. So that's what. All right. So XOM, that's with oil, right? So I'm glad you mentioned that. So look, check this out, right? So when you think about 1 second, hold on 1 second. But yeah, no, so like you're right. So XOM has been moving, but like I said, energy has been running. Energy is up 37%. So that was one of the big ones. XOM is in the energy sector. So it's one of the nice ones that another one is in this sector. And I think this sector is going to be even more bullish going forward right now. This particular during the summertime. So a lot of people traveling during the summer. So a lot of people will be using more gas, taking trips and stuff like that. So oil, we're gonna have you're gonna have some more runs for oil. Yeah, so good thing. And yeah, so anybody have any other questions before we call it?
No, that's all.
All right, well, I'm gonna post this shortly and y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night.
All right, y'all
right,
too.
All right.
later.
Good night.